Episode 6? We're up to episode 6 now. Homecoming. And it's your boy Icon with some DC TV, baby. So, in this particular episode, she's still trying to find herself. And we are getting closer. We're definitely getting closer. But in this episode, we get a nice little cameo from Star Labs. Because earlier, Naomi was talking to her bestie, and they were having a conversation about re-looking at the hieroglyphics, re-looking at the words, and Naomi trying to decipher them and learn things about herself and where she comes from. So they find out that, I guess, Star Labs had the capability to be able to decipher that information, or they ended up getting like the name of a doctor from Star Labs. Naomi makes her way down to Star Labs, and she goes and talks to the doctor. Now, it would have been cool if, although it wasn't the same actress, if like the woman that was there, like if her name was like Caitlin Snow or something, or if she just had like a name of somebody like referenced in the Arrowverse, that would have been pretty dope. But she was some random like brand new doctor, and she had a conversation with Naomi, and then Naomi had, she had like that piece of like rock or whatever, and then she was telling the woman, she said that she just wanted to examine this, for a school project, and then the woman was just like, well, it's unique just like you because of your powers. And then she was like, how do you know I have powers? And she said, because she said when you first walked into Star Labs, we actually scan people to decide to find out whether or not they're superpowered people. And then she said that it scanned you as a superpowered person like right out the gate. So then the two of them started talking, and then Naomi was just like, well, can you help me? And then the woman was just like, yes, because she was just like, oh, you're from Earth 29. And then they were trying to find Earth 29, and then they found out that they couldn't find Earth 29 because the doctor ended up saying, she said that I've searched the galaxy for your planet, but we can't find it. And she said the reason why we couldn't find it is because you're not actually from this particular Earth. You're not from this universe. You're from a different Earth. And I think it was either Earth 19 or Earth 29. It might have been 29. But, she was just like, oh, you're from a different Earth. And then Naomi was like, I'm from a different Earth. And then she was like, well, can you scan like the cosmos or scan the multiverse or whatever to find out what Earth I'm from? And then the woman was like, she's like, I could, but I need a device in order to do that, and I don't have the ability or the power, to do that because somebody had stole the device. So then Naomi was just like, well, who took the device? And I'll get the device back for you. And then she shows Naomi the security footage of who took the device, and it was Zimbahu. I can't pronounce his name for Jack. It's like Zimbabwe, like Zimbabwe, whatever. The black dude that owns the car garage. Like he was the one that basically took the device. Naomi, like, she goes to look for him, but then he finds her first. And then when Zimbahu, found her, he knocked her off her skateboard, and he was just like, stay away from Star Labs. You don't know what you're getting into. And then she was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, don't worry about it. Because her whole thing was, she was trying to get information from him, and he didn't want to talk. Like, he didn't want to share anything about her. He didn't even want to tell her why he didn't want her in Star Labs anyway. And then Naomi was just like, oh, she was like, I found out about you, and you're a bad person, and you did bad things. And, she was like, if you don't want to give me the device, I'm just going to take it from you. And then he was just like, girl, please. So Naomi tries to blast him, and then he blocks her blast. He sends it back. It was almost like he was controlling her power to a degree. Like, he has the ability to control like her wave energy. And then, he took it and like knocked her on her ass and knocked her on the floor. And then he walked up to her and was like, girl, you's a disappointment. And I'm just like, that has to be your dad. Like, he has to be her dad. Like, he almost walked up to her and was like, I'm not a bad person, Naomi. I'm your daddy. Like, girl, I'm your daddy. I think that's her dad. Like, I feel like that's like the way he's acting too weird to not be her father. After that, like, Naomi, tucks her tail between her legs. She goes back to school, and then she just tries to like forget about the whole thing. She had a conversation with her parents, like, they were just like talking, telling her how much they loved her or whatever. She was talking to her best friend, her boyfriend, and the guy that wanted to be her boyfriend. The two of them went on a double, like a dude's mission today, where they were trying to do something that had to do with homecoming, and like they got to know each other a little bit. They got to know each other because their whole thing was like, oh, like the white kid was like, oh, you're an army person and you just respect the town folk, and then the black dude was just like, oh, just because I'm from the army, like, you guys hate me because I'm not from here. But then the two of them did find some common ground on things that they actually did enjoy together, and they were able to coexist together, and they, dare I say, almost became friends, like by the end of the episode, which was actually very nice to see. The Thanagarian dude, he basically took a break from all the superheroing, and he went to go look for the informant that had information about his wife, because in the last episode, when Zimbahu had shown him the list of the bounty hunters, of the names that's on the bounty hunter list, his ex-wife's name was on that list of bounty hunters. And then his whole thing was, if she's on a list of for bounty hunters to go after, then she still has to be alive. And, he's going to try to find the woman that he loves. So he went and spoke to the informant. The informant didn't want to give him any information, so he kicked his ass. He actually had his girlfriend, wife, I don't know. He had the girl's ring around his neck. And he said that his girlfriend, the two of them were like trapped somewhere. They were locked up somewhere. And he said that his girlfriend sacrificed herself and took his place to do something, to fight someplace or do something. Basically, like they were going to pick that guy to do something. His girlfriend stepped in and did it for him. And because of that, he was grateful. And then he kept her ring as a reminder that she saved his ass. While Naomi was talking to her parents, the doctor from Star Labs had called her and asked her to come down to the lab. Naomi comes down to the lab. And then when she got to the lab, she was just like, oh, Naomi was like, oh, did you find information about getting a power source so you can find my home planet? And then the doctor was like, yeah. She was like, I actually did find a power source. It was funny because the doctor was like behind a plate glass window, and that should have immediately sent a light bulb off in Naomi's head. But then then she told Naomi, she was like, oh, come into the room and then we'll talk about it. Once Naomi went into the room, the doctor pushed a button and trapped Naomi. And then the doctor ended up using like a big machine to suck the energy out of Naomi, because those crystals that were in the briefcase from a previous episode, they were in the room too. And the doctor had said, she was like, oh, this whole time I was looking for a power source. And she said, I've had one this whole time. She's like, you're the perfect power source. So the doctor ended up using her machine to drain Naomi's power, to use it to power up Star Labs, whatever the case may be. Naomi tried to fight back, but it didn't work. And then, right before she got all of her energy sucked away, Zimbahu busted through the side of Star Labs. He broke the machine or whatever. He looked at the doctor and he was just like, how dare you do this to my daughter? And then he walked over to Naomi. He was like, Naomi, it's not safe for you. This woman, she gonna hurt you. He was like, come with me. And then because she was weak and defeated, she trusted him. So, she extended the hand. He picked her up. And then before he walked away, he looked at the doctor and gave the look like, girl, I'll bust your ass. And I didn't know if he looked at her like, it was a look of either we had a plan and you just fucked it up, or if you ever touch my daughter like that again, I'm gonna kill you. But I'm interested to find out what's gonna happen either way, because at this point, I feel like homeboy, that's her daddy. So, like I said, that was it. He carried her out of Star Labs, and the episode was over. So that was it, and thank you for tuning in. So this was a quick one. Like I said, Naomi's just been very straight and to the point lately, which is funny because it's a slow build and a slow burn for us to actually get to the point, because we're still trying to figure out her origin, who she is, where she comes from, why she got sent to Earth. So all these questions are still being still being asked and concerned, and she's not even in the costume yet. She's not even really a full-fledged superhero. So like I said, we're not there yet. We're definitely not there yet, but they have a lot of other interesting components surrounding this whole TV show. So it is very interesting until we finally get to where we need to go. So like I said, so check me out on Twitter. Check me out on Instagram. Check out my reviews, because Superman and Lois is coming up on the channel. We got a review for the Batman. The Batman's coming up real soon. And then I also have the season finales for both Batwoman and Legends of Tomorrow coming up as well. So thanks for tuning in, guys. So until next time for some more Naomi action. Take care. Look to the stars. And I'm out this bitch.